Happy Tuesday, guys. We are in the Scholarium. We're going to check out this vendor. He has all new stuff this week. But also, we're going to check out the Imperial City Sewers vendor and the Infinite Archive vendor. So these videos are going to get a tiny bit longer. All right, let's check out what the Scholarium has today. First off, we have Bound Affix Script Courage. Adds Courage, a buff increasing weapon and spell damage. Bound Focus Script Taunt. Adds a taunt. And next up, we have Bound Signature Script Fencer's Parry. Adds deflection of next direct damage attack. All right, we're headed off to Imperial City now. All right, here's the stone, the Telvar Merchant. I'm in the Ebonheart Pact sewer base.
This is all according.
Okay, let's skip our jewelry for now. We have the Shadowfen treasure map. Shadowfen brings us Hatchling Shell, Robes of the Hist, and Swamp Raider. I definitely don't think this is worth 6,000 Telvar. Full disclosure, though, I am not much of a PvPer. I know how to PvP. I do PvP a little. I'm certainly not fantastic at it. So Telvar is a little bit more valuable to me than other currencies. But considering you can get a Shadowfen treasure map for like 300 gold from a guild trader, I definitely don't think the exchange rate here is worth it. All right, our scripts. We have Bound Affix Script Brittle. Adds Brittle, a debuff increasing critical damage taken. Bound Affix Script Expedition. Adds Expedition, a buff increasing movement speed. Bound Focus Script Multi-Target. Adds a multi-target hit. And Bound Signature Script Assassin's Misery. Adds improved use of status effects. Next up, we have Fragment of the Exarch. This one is for the Silver Bolt's Vibrant Yellow skill style. It drops out of Blackreach Greymore Caverns, the World Boss, Vampire Feeding Grounds. Remember that you're not going to be able to buy this if you don't already own the DLC. And it is a guaranteed drop the first time you kill the World Boss. So the only reason I think to buy this with Telvar, personally, is if you don't have people to go run the World Boss with and you have extra Telvar. But I was able to ask a couple friends to go run it with me, and it wasn't that big a deal because we all needed it. So, all right, our leads. First up is Bog Blue Jasper Fetish. This is for the Harpooner's Waiting Kilt. This one comes from Mazatoon, the dungeon. I don't know if it's worth 25,000 Telvar. Again, I'm not much of a PvPer, but everyone is sick of running Mazatoon. I don't know about you, but my friends are sick of it. So this one might be worth it if you need the kilt still. Next up, Snowy Sabercat Fur Strip, also 25,000 Telvar. This one is for Snow Treaders and comes from Dire Frost Keep. I don't think Dire Frost Keep is super difficult, so I would probably just run the dungeon. But again, if you have the Telvar and need the lead, it is here for you. All right, we have Mara's Balm Amulet, Mara's Balm Ring, Ring of Bulwark Ruination, and of course the Amulet of Bulwark Ruination, also available here in gold for 100,000 Telvar apiece. You guys might recall that jewelry used to be available all the time. Now it is rotating. All right. Last up, let's go check out the Infinite Archive vendor. All right, and finally, we're in Infinite Archive. Let's check out what Filer has for us.
Don't ask about what.
All right, first off, we have Reach treasure maps. The Reach brings us Radiant Bastion, Void Caller, and Witch Knight's Defiance. There's also a chance of getting the Ancestral Reach motif leads. So the Reach treasure maps are in slightly higher demand. I don't know that they're worth 2,000 archival fortunes. They're not super expensive at guild traders, but it is an option here if you don't want to search all over for maps. Okay, Archival Riddles. Consume 20 Archival Riddles to unlock the Archival Veteran Achievement and the Veteran of the Infinite body art. This is the body art. Remember, these fragments are guaranteed to drop in order, so the more of the dailies you do, the more of these you'll get. At 7,000 Archival Fortunes and needing 20 of them, it is really expensive to buy it this way. Bound Affix Script Brutality and Sorcery. Adds Brutality and Sorcery buffs, increasing weapon and spell damage. Bound Affix Script Uncertainty. Adds Uncertainty, a debuff reducing weapon critical damage. Bound Focus Script Pull. Adds a pull. And finally, Bound Signature Script War Mage's Defense. Adds a damage shield. Okay. Our style page is the Grothdar Mask. This is ugly, right? Grother comes out of Vaults of Madness, not a super difficult dungeon. Remember, you do need to do Veteran to get it to drop. You have a better chance if you've done hard mode. Not the most difficult of dungeons. It's available here for 15,000 archival fortunes, though, if you don't want to wait for the window when it drops, or if that is not your thing, if dungeons just aren't something that you enjoy doing. Next up, we have Companion Equipment Light Armor. I never recommend these. You are at the mercy of RNG, and really in Light Armor, all you're looking for is Soothing, maybe Quickened, at 5,000 archival fortunes for something that is bound. I say skip it. Next up, we have Heroes Alessia Deck Fragment. This, of course, is for the Saint Alessia deck for Tales of Tribute, and drops from public dungeon bosses in Westweald. I don't think this one's super difficult to get. Certainly not worth 7,000 archival fortunes, but your mileage may vary. Next up, we have our leads. First is Stormweather Drafting Top. This is for the Shipbuilder's Crafting Station. This one drops from the Ghost Haven Bay Public Dungeon Group Event. Kind of a pain to farm this one. I don't know that it's worth 5,000 archival fortunes, though. Okay, then we have Weighted Spiked Bridge. This one is for the Death Dealer's Feet Mythic. This one drops from Rewards of the Worthy. I've already gotten this one twice, and I don't PvP a whole lot, so I don't feel like it's super difficult to get. Sigil Glow Globe's Crystal Ball. This is a fragment that drops out of Sunhold in Somerset. They have increased the drop rate of some of these runebox fragments, so I would probably just go farm it. But if it's your last one, no, still 7,000 archival fortunes is way too much. TTC suggested price is 850 to 1,000 gold. I'm sure you can find it on a trader. So I would just do that personally. Okay, and finally we have our books. We have The Waiting Door. We've seen this one before. It dropped back in July. It is, the eidetic memory is in Vivek. I think it's in the library, but it drops in Infinite Archive. And the next one is beautiful. Look at this. It's an open book. It's got pictures. I really like this one. This one has not dropped before. It also comes out of Infinite Archive. The eidetic memory is part of the Apocrypha quest line, though. All right. Let's go run a couple arcs of Infinite Archive and see what gear is dropping this week. All right, we just ran a couple arcs of Infinite Archive, and we have gear dropping from Malabal Tor. That includes Salvation, Spinner's Garments, and Thunderbug's Carapace, as well as from Westweald. That includes Aliad's Refuge, Macabre Vintage, and Symmetry of the Weald. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.